What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome, guys, to another video. Thanks as always for tuning in. And let me, as always, thank you and let you know how appreciative I am for you to take time out of your busy schedule to tune into another video. All right. And also, let me remind you to like the video, share the video, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell. All right. And comment, guys, comment and let me know what you think about the video, the contents, anything that I've said that you might or might not agree with. Just comment and let us know. All right. So, guys, this lady that you're looking at on your screen, she is, I don't know if it's a joke, if I should laugh or feel sad or whatever, but this lady, she wanted a late night hookup, in other words, a late night booty call, but it didn't work out in her favor. So she did something unspeakable that you would never believe, or you hardly ever hear a lady do something like this, guys. And you're gonna want to hear this for those of you who haven't seen this story or heard of it before. This happened a while ago, but I just came across the story, and I said, let me bring this to you guys for those of you who haven't seen it. So this happened, I think, sometime in August, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And let us get into it, guys, and I'll tell you what definitely happened. All right. So a New Jersey woman is accused of torching a man's house after he invited her over for a late night sex, late night booty call, a late night hookup, whatever you want to call it. But unfortunately, he fell asleep and did not hear her at the door, guys. So Miss Tasia Russell, and she's 29 years old, she was arrested Tuesday in connection with a fire that destroyed a home early this month, said Woodbury police. Police accused Russell of sending a series of angry texts to the slumbering resident, then buying lighter fluid, matches, and a lighter at a nearby gas station around 4 a.m. on August 4th. So as I told you guys, this happened in August. Right? So it happened August 4th. She's accused of setting a fire outside the sole doorway to the man's home, then fleeing as the flames spread, according to a probable cause statement for her arrest. The victim, whose name has not been released, awoke around 4:30 a.m. to find flames blocking the exit from his smoke-filled residence. He escaped by physically removing a window frame and climbing through the opening, police said. So we have to give thanks, that he was not killed. He did not die in that fire. So that's a good thing. The man, described as covered to toe in suit and hash and wearing only a t-shirt, then ran around 2/10 of a mile to Woodbury's police station. He frantically announced that his residence was burning, then ran back to his home, says the probable cause statement. Oh boy, that sounds so funny. The man ran to the police station, reported the fire, then ran back home. The victim was taken to a hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation and first and second degree burns, according to the police. Firefighters from Woodbury and surrounding towns responded to the blaze, saving the man's dog. The residence and its contents were completely destroyed, says the probable cause statement, which notes the fire was determined to be an arson. Police then learned of texts sent by Russell to the victim, which included, "I see you wanna die, and you wasted my money to come out here." Oh boy. The victim's phone also showed 8 missed calls, according to the probable cause statement. The man told police he had invited Russell to his home and stated that she was a side chick whom he had been having a sexual relationship with, it adds. Video surveillance showed the woman outside the man's house just prior to the fire and making a purchase at a Kanoko station in Mantua Pike, police said. Russell is being held on charges of attempted murder, aggravated arson, endangering, and criminal mischief. God, no, tell me this isn't funny. She sent him a text saying, I see you wanna die. Oh my God, this lady is something else, boy. Hey. My God. Anyway, guys, let us continue. The incident marked the second time this year a woman was accused of setting fire to a man's home in Woodbury. A city woman, 33-year-old Tasia Young, was charged with aggravated arson and other crimes in April. According to police, Young confessed she engaged in a threesome at her boyfriend's duplex, then became angry when he sent her home and the other woman stayed. Oh boy. Police said Young also bought lighter fluid and matches at the same gas station. Wow, these ladies are not playing, boy. These ladies definitely not playing, guys. So anyway, I guess that's not so much of a sad story, as in more on the funnier side. Well, in my opinion, it's on more on the funnier side to me, guys. Because you hardly ever hear, women doing these kind of things. So that there you can definitely say that is someone that that's a lady that really loves her fix up. You know what I mean? So there you see one of the headlines they had put out. Taja Russell, 29, is facing charges of attempted murder, aggravated arson, endangering, and criminal mischief. A New Jersey woman who is facing multiple charges after she allegedly set a man's home on fire after he invited her over for a booty call, but he fell asleep. So, guys, that is. Let me know what you guys think of this story here. All right. So, guys, this other one that I'm bringing to you now is really a crazy one. This happened on Saturday, the 1st of October. And this happened in Indonesia, where over 130 people died as a result of stampede and stuff like that at a soccer game. So let us get into the story real quick, guys, because as I've always said, I don't like long videos. So let me get into the story, guys. All right. So Malang, Indonesia. It was supposed to be a joyous occasion for fans of Arema FC, the most beloved soccer team in the city of Malang, Indonesia. Tens of thousands of young people who call themselves Aremania. This from the team's name is Arema. So they're Aremania. Had packed Kanjuruhan Stadium, if that's the way it's called, on Saturday night, hoping to watch their team beat Persebaya Surabaya, a club it had defeated for 23 years running. But Arema lost 3-2, and angry fans began rushing the field. What unfolded next became one of the deadliest sports stadium disasters in history. Police officers began shooting tear gas canisters into the crowd and beating fans with batons, witnesses said. And in a rush to flee the stadium, fans piled up against narrow exits, crushing each other. At least 125 people were reported dead as of Sunday night. And I think I saw somewhere where the death toll went up to 130. I am still thinking did all this really happen? Said Felix Musti Kasakti, a phone Tumbas, a 23-year-old fan whose right leg was injured when a tear gas canister landed on him. How could such a tragedy occur and kill so many people? The disaster was focused at the disaster has focused attention on the use of tear gas by the local police in such a tightly packed stadium. And that you can say is a fine way of escalating stuff, guys, because the crowd, part of the crowd is angry because their team lost, and then the police, topped it off by starting to beat people and firing tear gas. So what do they expect from that? More chaos, right? So on Twitter, one of the top trending topics in Indonesia was National Police Chief, with many Indonesians calling for his removal. A spokesman for the National Police said that in addition to the huge death toll, there were reports that at least 300 people had been injured. Violent, often deadly rivalries between major teams are common in Indonesia. Some teams even have fans clubs with so-called commanders who lead large groups of supporters. Flares are often thrown onto the field, and riot police are a regular presence at many matches. Since the 1990s, dozens of fans have been killed in soccer-related violence. But Indonesia has never before seen a sports stadium disaster on this scale. Saturday's tragedy appeared to be a perfect storm of everything that could go wrong at a soccer match. Indonesia's President Joko Widodo has asked the police chief for a thorough investigation into the cause of the incident. In a televised speech to the nation, he said he had also ordered the Minister of Youth and Sports and the chairman of Indonesia's Football Association to evaluate security at soccer matches. I regret that this tragedy occurred, Mr. Joko said, and I hope this is the last football tragedy in the country. The police defended their use of tear gas, which they said was necessary to subdue aggrieved fans. That must be a joke, because I mean, what angry fans did they subdue? They did, as a result of what they did, it caused more chaos and I guess more death, right? East Java's police chief, Inspector General Nico Afinta, said the gas was deployed because there was anarchy. He said the fans were about to attack the officers and had damaged the cars. But witnesses dispute Mr. Afinta's account, saying that police officers fired tear gas indiscriminately into the stands, causing a stampede and many people to suffocate. Videos circulating on Twitter showed fans scaling a fence as they tried to flee the clouds of tear gas. Other videos showed security forces with shields and buttons, and as you can see here, guys, these are some of the pictures from and aftermath of the incident. You can see police cars turned over, burnt out. They had to be taking people out of the stadium, and all of that stuff. So the police didn't do any good in that, because if you're gonna fire tear gas, people are already storming the field, and you're gonna fire tear gas even in the stands, then it's gonna be even worse. So so they were even kicking and hitting fans who had rushed onto the field, and that's another disaster waiting to happen by doing such a thing, right? And the stadium was over capacity. Mahfud MD, Indonesia's coordinated Minister of Political, Legal and Security Affairs, said that the local football committee had printed 42,000 tickets, more than the stadium's 38,000 seats, Mr. Afinta said. And that is another disaster also, because You have 38,000 seats, and they printed 42,000 seats. I'm sorry, 42,000 tickets. So the stadium is already overcrowded. Mr. Afinto, the East Java police chief, said there were 40,000 people inside the stadium. The police came armed with tear gas, even though its use at games is prohibited by FIFA. Soccer's global governing body, Owen West, a senior lecturer on policing at the Edge Hill University in Britain, said that the use of crowd control munitions and full riot gear becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because officers' tactical assumptions are all initiated around a sense of losing control. It is incredibly dangerous to use of this dispersal tactic such as tear gas in this case, said Mr. West. I am guessing it was used without any thought of where thousands of people might go. And they, just as I said, guys, that's a no-no right there, and they should have known better not to do such a thing. One fan, Joshua Nade, said that after the match ended, two or three angry fans came down from the stands and were seen shouting at the players. Police officers entered to turn the fans back, drawing more people onto the field. Some scuffling between the police and fans prompted officers to fire the first burst of tear gas around 10:30 p.m. local time. Then at 11 p.m., the security forces suddenly started firing tear gas at a steady clip into the stands, said Mr. Joshua, who like many Javanese, does not use a family name. That prompted hundreds of people to rush to the exits. Officers continued firing tear gas for an hour, according to Mr. Joshua. For an hour, guys. So just imagine you're not one of them that's rushing the field, and then police all of a sudden start firing tear gas into the stands where you're sitting. What they expect people to do? Sit down and take the tear gas? Everybody's gonna try and flee, get out of the stadium. Outside the stadium, hundreds of angry fans clashed with the police. Some of the exits were sealed off, ostensibly to keep fans from flooding the stadium, but that trapped thousands of people inside. To get out, Mr. Joshua said, some people had to scale fences more than 15 feet high, clambering over other panicked spectators, Mr. Joshua said. The police stood by and did nothing to help the hundreds of people who had fainted from the tear gas. In a statement, Indonesia's Legal Aid Foundation said the excessive use of force through the use of tear gas and inappropriate crowd control was the cause of large number of fatalities. If there wasn't tear gas, there wouldn't be such a riot, said Suki Rahayu, a photographer who was in the stadium. Soccer violence has long been a problem for Indonesia, and police officers were usually on guard to contend with unruly fans. The last time tear gas was used in a deadly way by the police during a soccer match was also during an Arema FC game in 2018. One person died and 14 people were injured. Saturday's death toll put it among the worst sports casualty counts in history, including a riot in Peru in 1964 that left more than 300 people dead, and in Hillsborough, England, in which an FA Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest in Sheffield resulted in the death of 97 soccer fans. Mr. Tumbas said around 11:45 p.m. a tear gas canister landed on his right leg, burning his calf and foot. He showed photographs of his injuries to the New York Times. When the firing stopped, he said he helped medical workers carry to the exits more than 10 people who had fainted. He checked to see if they were still alive, and their heartbeats were faint but still present. Then he went to look for his friends in the parking lot. When he returned, the bodies of the unconscious people had turned dark. I still remember all their faces, said Mr. Tumbas. I hear them asking for help in my head. Wow. And guys, that must be a horror sight, that will haunt anyone for a very, very long time, right? In Meleng, on Sunday night, hundreds of Arima fans held a vigil for the dead. They wore black to Stadium Gajayana, where Arima won its first title. Many of them sang hymns to remember those who had died. Bam Bang Siswanto. Man, where do people get these names from? The father of 19-year-old Jilang Putra Yuliaza said his son and his nephew had gone to the game with 3 other boys. His 17-year-old nephew did not make it out alive, and his son, he said, is already struggling with survivor's guilt. He totally went into shock, said Mr. Bambang, speaking at a hospital in Meleng where his son was admitted. He looked okay when I found him, but as soon as he saw his cousin's body, that's when it hit him. He went blank. You talk to him and there's no response. Jilang's mother, Etri, who goes by one name, said she had told her son not to go to the match, but her son is a diehard Arima fan and has loved soccer since he was little. I will never let him watch a soccer match anymore, Etri said. I am terrified. Mr. Bambang echoed his wife's sentiments. Yes, we won't allow him to go to a soccer match, he said. Too cruel. The police are too cruel. So guys, there you have it, and I'm over my time limit that I wanted to go to, and I'm sorry for that, guys. So, but I hope you guys, take time out to really check this story out, because it's really, informative and, interesting, or whatever you want to call it. These, if I was living in those countries, I wouldn't, since this is a ongoing thing at a lot of soccer games, I wouldn't be going to those games. Trust me. When you go to games and stuff like that, you go to enjoy yourself, not to, have to be scampering around, running to save your life, right, guys? So, guys, as I said, comment and let me know what you think about these stories, right? And please remember to like the video, share the video, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell, all right? So, blessed love, guys, and thanks for tuning in again, all right? Peace.